Hello guys, it's John here. Today we're doing another Bakugan BakuTech Retrospect episode, this being episode 13 on Zak Jaguard. Zak Jaguard was released in BTC 30, Bakugan Official Battlefield W Super DX set, and was then re-released in BTA 05, BakuTech Battlefield W Rise 4 set. It is Subterra, it has 590 Gs, and it was released in October 2011. Taking a look at its ball form, it is in this kind of yellow-orange plastic. Has some copper detailing, a lot of black detailing as well, some silver here on the cross pieces. Fairly unique look. It opens up like that and also has two manual parts, these feet that kind of just flip out from these flaps under here. Can be a little bit awkward to take out, but not too bad. Taking a look at its open design, it does have a pretty impressive stance there, so I guess that's pretty noteworthy. And yeah, overall it does look very, very nice. Talking about its physical design elements, it does have these two cross pieces here, which are both plastic. And aside from that, it also has the circle spike. The circle spike is this like underneath thing here with these black flaps. So they're supposed to help it with standing and defense, which isn't really great. The idea is to help it from not getting, knocked over, which does kind of function, but it's kind of too top heavy to make that function as well as you'd probably want it to. And getting hit dead on isn't really the greatest thing for it either. So it's not overly effective, but that is its sort of gimmick. Closing this thing is a bit of a pain, to be honest. So first, you of course start with the manual parts, which are fairly straightforward. So for the rest, I usually put the head in and then these arms in. And holding that, you have to kind of get these flaps in as well. Once those are closed, you then can set this down on it. Then these tabs just kind of go in there and the tail will fold in without too many issues. And there we go. Zak Jaguard is now closed. Not the most fun process, but it's definitely not the worst in BakuTech. Looking at the anime and manga, Zak Jaguard is owned by Hyoga. Hyoga only appears in the manga, and was part of the rare Bakugan Hunters. Him along with Shaggy made up a tag team to go up against Harubaru and Reichi, the main two characters of BakuTech, in round 2 of the Coliseum Cup. So he only had brief spotlight and wasn't overly relevant in the manga, and because Hyoga doesn't appear in the anime, well, Zak Jaguard doesn't really have any relevance in the anime. Now let's talk about the variants, and there's only one, that being Zak Jaguard Kai. This released as BTC 53, it could have either 540 or 550 Gs, and the black metal flaps towards the bottom of Zak Jaguard are now metal. Moving on to competitive, this thing wasn't really great when it first released. You could maybe argue that the whole circle spike thing wasn't terrible, at least for the time, but even by this point you still have things like Gablianicon or Keelan Lannis. It just wasn't ideal. Again, it's pretty top heavy. Being tall in BakuTech isn't the best. You're better off replacing the two cross pieces of metal cross pieces and using the momentum of the thing actually opening up as an attack Bakugan. Even then, it's not great. I guess Zak Jaguard Kai can kind of help with that, as it effectively has 4 metal pieces, but I still wouldn't say it's really worthwhile. So there isn't a whole lot to go over competitively because it just never really did a whole lot, and by my metrics ranks around mid D tier. But yeah, that's really all for Zak Jaguard. It's not an overly interesting Bakugan, wasn't really great either. I'd say the best thing it has going for it is that it looks cool, but that's really about it. Anyways, next episode will be on this thing's counterpart, Killer Volca. So until then, thanks for watching and bye-bye.